Hello everyone, this is Auto Trends, where we discuss everything on wheels dispassionately. My name is Nanatia Ampimdakwa.
And I'm Andrew, steering you through this episode. Today, we look at safe driving, car care tips, and the daunting topic of motor insurance.
We'll be right back after this break.
The Honda Accord has paid its dues in full. At least that's what some say. I tend to agree, since this model, the Accord, has been around since 1976, a whopping 42 years. What you see here is the 9th generation of the model. Yes, 9th. In 1976, Honda Company, after nearly pulling out of automotive production altogether, decided to give it a last try, with parts borrowed from the Civic, which itself received lukewarm attention at the time of launch. The final product was the first generation Accord, which funnily enough was a hatchback. The Accord went through a slew of body configurations over the years: hatchback, sedan, coupe, and even a wagon. Along the way, it also grew in size, incrementally improved the general quality of the interior, and surprisingly, also dialed in some driver involvement in the form of a sporty model or two. So what we have here is the end result of some guy named Shoji Matsui, project manager for design and production of the best entry Honda could in the mid-size sedan category. The competition is keen here in this category, with entries such as the Ford Fusion, Toyota Camry, Hyundai Sonata, and Kia Optima. Some of this car's bragging rights. Listen to this. 3.5 V6, full of power. You know how most cars have physical dashboard, things move around and the rest. With this one, it's a hybrid. You actually do find a digital display in the middle of the speedometer. It tells you your mileage there, your odometer, and your gear selection. And in the middle here, you have a haptic touch screen. For phone connection, your audio, you also have the internet in your car, which most cars don't have. Here's my phone connected to the car through a USB port. I don't need to use it. All I do is call or tap on the screen and I'm talking. Same goes for music. I don't need to fiddle around at all. It's just straightforward. And the last bit here, a second USB port, HDMI, and a power outlet. HDMI, you all know, is for media display, and the last one is for power, for vacuum cleaners, anything else that you want to use that's got power. This is the pilot's seat, right? So I have far more adjustability than the passengers. So I can go forward, I can go back, I have height, and I have lumbar. If you've got a bad back, you're covered here also. So this car has perforated leather seats. In other words, the seats don't sweat. Secondly, the steering wheel has got some of the basic controls that you use on a daily basis sitting here. So you don't turn up your volume by struggling to go and poke up things here. It's all here. The same goes for your cruise control and even your phone. So the steering wheel is heaped with these things. What I see here and what you see on the doors there is this black lacquered glossy finish. Makes the car look, really upscale. And the last bit is, I don't know what type of wood it is, but it's brown, it's classy, and well, you find some on the steering wheel too, at the top of the steering wheel. It gives you an impression of you're driving some really expensive machine. I told you this car has automatic climate control, not air conditioning. Automatic climate control means that you set the temperature you want in the car and just leave it. The car brings the temperature down or up to your desired one. People see this green thing, C-E-C-O-N, Econ. Basically, it's economy. When you activate this button, What the car does is that when you're driving it slowly, 3 out of the 6 cylinders in the engine go to sleep, and the car manages to sip fuel instead of gulping it. The back seats are voluminous. I have a lot of leg room, shoulder room, headroom. I also have the AC here. I can only control how strong it comes at me. What I can't do is calibrate whether it's going to be cold or hot, but I just get my nice cool airflow. When I want privacy, this is what I use. Keep prying eyes out of my way. Really comfortable place to be in. If it's only 2 of us in the car instead of 3, I have a nice fat armrest which I can share with my passenger. I can open up here, put my drinks here, and feel very, very comfortable. Honda went all 21st century high-tech with this car, and it has done this even in the front. LED headlights and LED fog lights. And I tell you, when you're driving in the night, you see everything. And because it has sporting pretensions, it sits on rim 19s, beautifully designed rims, and 235/40 tires, good 8 inches wide. Now look at this too. There's a little camera here. This is the one that is used for blind spot monitoring. And lastly, this little square dot here is your rear view camera. Go into reverse gear, the camera takes a picture of everything that's going on, video, not still, and puts it onto the screen in your dashboard. No family car is complete without good boot space. Honda doesn't disappoint here at all. It's got a nice big boot, and with this lever I can extend the boot space by dropping the back seats. And things can go in very long. Objects can be placed into it at ease. And lastly, this car doesn't use one of those skinny, funny looking space saver tires. It's got the same rims you find out there in here. 19-inch 235/40. When the car is moving, that's when you realize that the steering wheel is compact. It's just the right size. And interestingly, if you put your foot down, this car flies. It really flies. Watch this. I'm preparing to take a right turn. So if you look at the top screen there, you see that the blind spot monitoring comes on, and I see everything that's to the right side of me going to the roadside. Interestingly, the sound system in this car is the type of thing you expect to find in a nightclub. If I put it on, you're not going to hear one single word I say here. So now, sorry, I had to do this. I wanted you to hear what this thing sounds like, and this is it. It's full sound. The ride is so smooth. It handles indentations on the road with aplomb. And yes, the seat is far more comfortable when you're sitting in it than when you're just staring at it, stationary.
Hello, Nee. You're welcome to Auto Trend.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. Nee, can you tell us about the motorbikes?
Okay, so first of all, the bike you are sitting on is an automatic bike.
Okay.
What I'm sitting on is a manual bike. What I mean by that is, this doesn't have gears. You just accelerate a bit of steering control and the bike rides.
Wow.
This you need to be shifting gears from 1 to 6. So that's the basic difference between what you are sitting on and the motor.
So meaning we have the manual and the automatic as we have in cars.
So.
Okay.
Okay, when it comes to the biking world, the manual bikes are regarded more than the automatic bikes. You are not seen as a rider if you ride an automatic bike.
I think the same goes to
The
driving
cars.
cars.
Okay, then that's what it is.
Okay. So does it mean that if I drive a manual car, I'll be able to drive a manual motorbike?
The underlying tenets are the same, but you need to be taught what to do. Because, for instance, all your limbs are working on a bike. I don't think all your limbs are working in the car.
Okay.
So you need to be taught what to do and how to do it.
Okay.
So the idea is the same. The clutch release, the acceleration, the braking, they are all the same underlying principles, but you need to be taught how to do it.
Okay. Earlier on, you were talking about to be able to ride a bike, you would need the license.
Yes, you do need a license to ride a motorcycle.
So if I have a car license, can I drive the bike?
Can you use it to ride a
Yes.
bike? No, you can't.
Okay.
The motorcycle license is a specialized license, Class A.
Okay.
In the past, if you had a Class C, for instance, it covers B and then A. If you have a Class F, it covers all the way up to A.
Okay.
But they realized that no, you can know how to drive and not necessarily know how to ride a bike. So if you have a Class F, it covers all the way to Class B, but doesn't cover Class A because A is a specialized license.
Okay.
If you drive a truck, chances that you can drive a saloon car is very high. But if you drive a truck, you may not necessarily know how to ride a bike.
Okay.
So the bike license is a specialized license. So you need to get a license for motorcycles.
Okay. Now that I want to learn how to ride a bike, how many years or months or weeks do I need to?
Well, I'm a motorcycle instructor. I offer 5 lessons. And if I say 5 lessons, I mean 5 lessons. 5 lessons can get you to be able to ride a bike satisfactorily.
Okay.
You
Take
don't
me through
need
that.
years. You don't need months. If you have 5 days, it's fine to let you know how to ride a bike satisfactorily.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you please take me through first day what to do,
Okay,
second
so normally
day?
on your first day, we are going to do a pre-ride inspection. What you need to know about the bike before you mount the bike.
Okay.
Bikes have become so reliable. Not only bikes, but cars have become so reliable. So the checks that people have to do on them before riding them, they don't do. They just sit on it, turn on the keys, park, and then it moves. You need some minutes to do a pre-ride inspection or a pre-drive inspection.
Okay.
You need to know your bike. The bike runs on fluids. There are bolts and nuts holding it. Over time, some of them get loose, fluids get short. So you should be checking them regularly. Yeah. People have become used to them. People rely on them so much. But one day it will disappoint you if you don't do the checks you're supposed to do. So as part of the training, day 1, you do a pre-ride inspection, a thorough pre-ride inspection.
Okay. And day 2?
Day 2, day 1, you do a pre-ride inspection and then you attempt moving the bike.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
it
then
goes
day
through
2,
to
yeah,
learning and
yeah,
learning
yes.
and learning and learning.
At least.
Okay. So it means that it's easier for me to come and then ride a bike and I can ride it anytime
Yeah,
after
anybody
5
can
days.
ride. Anybody can ride a bike after the fifth
After
lesson.
5 days.
Yeah. Unless you are a special kind of slow person.
Okay, wow. And with regards to motor riders, how they ride on the road, not being careful, they don't check their traffic lights, they don't pay attention, they don't actually respect the rules of traffic lights. What do you have to say?
So
about
you are
that?
talking about the blatant disregard for traffic
Yes.
rules.
Yes.
I'll be the first person to admit that there are a lot of motorcycling riders who break rules. I know. Actually, I am charging the police service to arrest anybody who jumps the red light, especially anybody who flouts traffic regulations should be arrested. Now, there's a way of doing things and then there's the right way of doing things. Motorcyclists sometimes think they are above the law. Ghana is a country of laws. They don't actually bring a good name to us who do the right thing because they normally lump us all into one basket and say motor 4.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's bad. There's a way of doing things, like I said, and there's a right way of doing things. The slowest bike is still faster than the fastest car when you ride in Accra. So when you and I move from, let's say, Joulu to Hacho, I'm going to get to Hacho before you.
Yeah.
So what's the point in jumping the red light? Do you get my point? Yes. Even if you stop at every red light, I'm still going to get there faster than you. So why are you in a hurry to?
Right.
Yes. So it's unfortunate, but I think the authorities should work more at it. They should clamp down on the people who are breaking the law. I mean, Ghana is a country of laws. If you
Yeah.
break the law, you should be dealt with.
Okay.
My friend is here. Joseph, can you please come?
Hi, Joe.
Okay, so Joseph is my student now, and he's also a friend of mine. He's coming to learn how to ride the right way.
Yeah.
Not only does he ride, but he drives too. That's his car.
Yeah.
And
I see the Range Rover there.
yes. So I just did this reference for you to know that not riff-raffs ride bikes. There are people who are responsible who ride
respected
bikes.
people.
Some of it is passion. Some of it is the turnaround time. Turnaround time for bikes. I don't think anybody wants to argue about the turnaround time of bikes. You can have a lot done on a bike in a short time than in a car. So when someone wants to ride, it's not because they're on a suicide mission.
Yeah.
It's not because they want to flout the laws. It's because of maybe passion or maybe turnaround time.
Wow. Thank you very much, Nee. And you heard it from Nee himself. He's saying that he's charging the police to arrest anybody who attempts to cross the red light. You know, I'm also going to learn how to ride. I'm a queen mother and I can ride a bike too as well. We'll be right back after the short break. And this is the insurance tip for today. As you and I know, a car is the most expensive purchase most people will make, second to buying a house. And that makes it important to safeguard such investments. The law makes the third-party insurance mandatory, which covers the pedestrians, the fare-paying passengers, and the occupant of the vehicle. Also note that the third-party insurance does not cover the repairs of your car. But if you want that, then you must go for the comprehensive insurance. Next week when I come back, we'll talk about the advantages of insuring your car comprehensively. This insurance tip is brought to you by Kalahari Insurance. Remember, with Kalahari, you will never go wrong. Many thanks for watching Auto Trends this week, and I hope you enjoyed yourself learning more about motorbikes and the Honda Accord.
Sure. And see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Right.